My lovely wife bought this Nesco Metal-Ware CU-30 950 watt coffee urn used on Facebook Marketplace for like $35 to use at the summer music camp she runs for young people. The CU-30 is Metal-Ware's mid-sized urn. It was introduced in 2012. They also make 25 and 50 cup units. This baby will serve about 15 to 20 people watery, burnt-tasting, percolated coffee when it's working right. But this one wasn't. My wife said it would start to warm the water and then shut off before it could brew anything. So a week ago, I pulled off the bottom of the thing and traced the wiring from where the power comes in through the on-off switch, a circuit breaker, into the heating element. And on the other end of the heating element was a thermostat with two indicator lights connected to it, a red heating light that lights when the thermostat is closed, and it is normally closed, and a green keep warm light that comes on when the thermostat is opened and the temperature is drifting down. So I undid two screws and I pulled the thermostat, which had white thermal grease on it to get a good contact with the bottom of the brewing chamber. This thermostat is a KSD-301 type, and that's evidently pretty common since sellers on Amazon and AliExpress sell all kinds of variants of this thing. As I said, this one's normally closed, and the 88 you see etched onto the face there means that at 88 degrees Celsius, or about 190 degrees Fahrenheit, it's supposed to open and stop the heating. I tested this one by connecting it up to a multimeter in continuity mode. Since it's normally closed, the meter beeped continuously. I then heated it up with air from the rework gun till it clicked and opened and the beeping stopped. And I pointed a laser thermometer at it, and it turns out it opened at about 112 degrees Fahrenheit, not 190, so likely this is the cause of the trouble. Now, I couldn't get another 88 degrees Celsius one of these for some reason. No one had it in stock. They had all other kinds of things, so I ordered a 90 instead of 88 from AliExpress for $1.09, and it came over from China in about 6 days, which is kind of amazing. And I have it here. In this application, that difference shouldn't make a difference. It's only about 4 degrees Fahrenheit, and with all the overshoot and undershoot hysteresis in the system, you know, it's just going to be noise. But I want to test this the way I tested the other one. So we have the beeper. So when I connect this, it should start beeping immediately because it's normally closed. And now I'm going to hit it with the heat gun until it opens. There it goes. And the thermometer says, oh gee, it only says 33 degrees centigrade. How's the side? 35. How's this? 36. Boy, that seems really low. Maybe there's a flaw in my testing procedure here. This is lower than the other one. It's supposed to be 90. Well, I wonder if this is going to do the job at all now. Well, let me think about this. So our AI overlord suggests that the infrared thermometer doesn't work well on a shiny metal surface like this. I don't know whether that's true. I've pointed it at lots of pots and pans, and it suggests a water bath is a better test. So I'm going to heat this water up. I don't know if you can see this. We'll take that up to around 190 degrees, and then I'm not going to bring out the multimeter because I'm too lazy. I'm just going to listen for the click. Let's see what we can discover here. There it goes. So that was 196, so that's about right. Okay. Well, that begs the question then, if the other one is really screwy. So let me turn this off, and I'm going to test the one I thought was broken. Okay, so I changed the water to get the temperature down. Now we're down around 165, 166. And this is the old 88 unit. Let's heat this one up. Okay, we're at 193. Still hasn't clicked. Let me get the multimeter. I guess I can't get away without it. Okay, let's see if we can melt these patch cords. The water's now 186, which is very close to the throat temperature. Let me dip that in there. Let's turn this on. Oh man, a little warm. I'm going to turn the burner down. Guess this is where an induction stove might be nicer, huh? We're over 200, and it is not opening. Now I know it opened under the hot air gun. Oh, there it goes. So, you know, we're over 212 because we're boiling. 210. So if anything, this old one seems like it was going high. And there, turn back on again. Well, this is inconclusive. I thought this one was lower. Turns out it's higher. I guess I'll just throw the new one in and we'll see what it does. So much for science. Yeah, okay, so let's just say the water bath tests are inconclusive. I don't know what's going on, but there's nothing else I can change except the thermostat. We've already changed the grind to a coarse grind, because apparently a fine grind can fall through the screen and, you know, put a sediment on the bottom of the brewing tank and screw up the heating. So let's change this and see if anything changes. Interesting to look at the old one and the new one. The old one's got the plastic base, or I'd say Bakelite. It's not really Bakelite, and a flange that moves, and this is ceramic and the flange is fixed, which is probably cheaper to make. If I'm going to slap some thermal paste on here, I got a new thing of thermal paste grease because my 1980s Archer little tubes from Radio Shack finally all dried out. And we'll just slather a bunch of this on and stick it back in and brew a test thing of coffee and see if it's made any difference. Yeah, I asked the wife again, and she says it would shut off too early after about 10 minutes and wouldn't brew completely. So, you know, thermostat's about the only thing in the circuit that's that we can check, unless it's something hidden. I'm sure you can all tell me about it in the comments. All right, let's pop this baby in and see what we got. So it's kind of a casual first step at characterizing this thing. I just put water in the tank and dropped the probe thermometer in and turned it on, and let's see what it heats it up to and if it'll hold it at that temperature for a while before we try to brew some coffee. Okay, we're getting into the fun zone now. 187. And we'll just watch this for a while. Well, I kind of expected the light to switch, and it hasn't, but it also seems to have stopped heating at 197, 198, which is a little higher than I'd like, but it's still okay. It's just floating around there. Oh, there we go. So at 199, which is a little hotter than I'd like, but it's still below boiling, so we're okay. All right, well, we'll let it sit here and cycle for a while. Won't bore you with that, and then we'll try to make some coffee. All right, I wasn't filming, but it dropped to 169 and then started to heat again. So it is cycling.
If it's broken the same way it was before, it will percolate and it will stop after about 10 minutes, and it will just be like weak tea in there. So what we're expecting, if it's successful, is that it will percolate, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it will stop percolating. That's the thing. It's supposed to stop percolating when it's done, and then I can take the basket out and I will see dark coffee.
So it's 22 minutes later.
It's 22 minutes later, the keep warm light has come on.
Does it look like coffee?
It does.
Hmm.
Looks like coffee to me.
Any good?
Well, you know, I don't drink coffee. The problem. Yeah. Yeah. Tastes like coffee.
So are you declaring that the coffee machine works? Good, all right, well.
Thank you, husband.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.